Yes, if you ping me an email, I'll send you
Some presenting next week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hello, Nick. How are you? Will you grab some of that or all of that?
Yeah.
It makes some sense. Yes, but they will work with the app. So if you download the app and test it on the samples, you can see what happens.
For the benefit of people at home, we're going to try and stay on time. So if I could, by all means, adjourn to continue the conversation outside. All right, up next we have a presentation to get your heart pumping, we might say. So Asfar Adib is a doctoral researcher at Concordia University in Canada, where he's a PhD candidate in electrical and computer engineering, and is also a public scholar at this university, which you'll find in Montreal. His research focuses on anonymous age verification systems. Are there any others? And Asfar has a crucial role in the ongoing development of age verification standards in Canada. So over to you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Ian, for the kind introduction. Good afternoon, all. It's lovely to be here in Manchester, learning so much and meeting you all. So Ian gave me introduction, so maybe I can go to the content right away. So firstly, what we are doing as part of my PhD research, we are trying to get age verification using heartbeat. Now, where does this come from? Firstly, how do we get this heart signal? So this term, ECG, electrocardiogram, this indicates the electrical activity of the heart. So I guess many of us are familiar with this term because whenever we have any health issue, especially cardiac disease, we go to our doctor and they say, why don't you get an ECG? Then we go to a hospital or to a diagnostic center. And what they do, they put leads around our body in different parts, what we call the 12-lead ECG. So they put around 10 to 12 electrodes at different parts of the body, and they get the signal. And from that signal, as you see in this curve, like it varies with different kinds of heart scenario. If we are healthy, we have a normal wave. If we are not healthy, we have different waves and so on. So that's the standard ECG. And nowadays, thanks to a smartwatch, we can get it right from our hand. So like I am wearing a smartwatch right now, and many of you use it. So there is the ECG feature, which we called wall-lead ECG. That means we just put our finger here for 30 seconds or 1 minute, and we get the signal. So obviously the 12-lead one, that is more extensive, and the 1-lead one, it just gives one indication, but that's practically more usable. Now moving ahead, what's the relation of this ECG with age verification? Before that, let's have a look what happens here. So in every heartbeat, we have this wave, which we called PQRST. So I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit technical. You know, being in academia, we are always doing technical presentations, but I will try to make it simple. So with every heartbeat, we get this PQRST, and that is the variable factor. And how does it vary? Here we go. So for long, doctors or clinicians, they have noticed that heartbeat varies with age. When we are born, our heart beats very fast. It can be over 100 beats per minute. As we get older, it starts beating slowly. And when we are very senior, it's pretty slow. So this is one of the chart, and also there is a gender-wise variation between male and females, biological gender. So as you see here, when we are just reaching adulthood, 16 to 19, heartbeat for a standard, in a standard case, without any disease, is just above 70. But when we are reaching almost 60 years, it's coming far below 70. So maybe it's a variation of 4 or 5 beats per minute. But the better impact is in this signal. So if I again go back, this PQRST, these things are actually varying with the age, and that's what we are trying to capture. And how do we do that? So before going there, and again, actually the change is very much visible right from someone is born. For an infant, heartbeat is almost over 100 or maybe 180. Then it starts coming down. And when we are getting older, it's almost steady. Another factor is demography. So this is a bit interesting. So obviously heartbeat varies with age, but what about the demographic impact? So this was a research done here in the UK back in, I assume, 2012 between 4 demographic groups: Caucasian, Chinese or Asians, South Asians or Indians, and Nigerians or some Middle Africans. So as they saw, yes, there are some variation with demography and also with age and also with gender. So now we can think, oh, there are so many things changing this heartbeat: my age, my gender, my demography, and of course my heart scenario. So can I really get age from here? It might be possible. So there are different factors: cardiac condition, my age, how heavy I am, and if I'm running or if I'm standing steadily. So if I run right now, my heart will beat fast. So although I'm a 30% male guy, the ECG might tell I'm below 18. Then there is the psychological condition. When we are stressed, our heart beats very fast, or when we are relaxed, it beats slow. Posture, I'm standing now, if I sit, it might change. And importantly, how we are taking the data. Is it from the 1 lead or is it from 12 lead? So there are different variable factors. And that's why this is our research topic. Because the benefit is more secure option. And why we are calling it secure? Firstly, this ECG or heart signal is a real-time sign of liveliness. As long as I am alive, people can get my ECG. So the moment I am dead, there is no way to get the signal. But even after my death, someone can take a picture of mine or maybe my fingerprint, right? I mean, I'm being hypothetical. So it's a continuous physiological signal and it's hard to capture without cooperation of the person. So that's why we feel ECG might be a more secure option. And if we have a general comparison among ECG and other biometrics, so we all know that there can be facial recognition, there can be fingerprint, speech, iris, where ECG stands. So firstly, like all these biometrics, ECG is universal. It can be available from every person on the earth. And it's more secure, as I was just saying, compared to others. What are the challenges? Collectability. So to collect ECG, we do need some device. We either need this smartwatch or we need the full medical setup. Permanence or stability. So there are so many factors changing the ECG. And of course, the variation. So age-wise variation, as we saw, it does vary, but it might not be always the best indicator. So if I make a quick recap, ECG can be available. It does vary with age and other stuff. Now, can we really use it for age verification? So thanks to AI or machine learning, during last 1 decade, we have these wonderful machine learning algorithms, and it prompted many researchers to explore, can we do ECG for age verification? So here are some reference studies, and sorry again, a lot of info here. I will make a quick summary. So what researchers have been doing, they are collecting ECG from hospitals, and they are using a lot of data, like over 20,000 or maybe over 400,000. And they are using machine learning algorithms. So I am avoiding the technical details. I will focus on the results. So if you see the last row, key findings, what are the findings? So in some case, they are doing age prediction. And when I say age prediction, it means getting the actual age, how old someone is. So in some case, the division is plus minus 7 years. That means someone is 65. ECG says this guy or this person is 68. Someone is 17. ECG says they are 24. In some cases, it's plus minus 8 years. So still there is a good variation. And if we think about the use case, then maybe plus minus 7 or plus minus 8 might not be the best scenario. That is why we are developing our own algorithm. And this is actually my PhD research work, which is still ongoing. So yeah, again, a technical diagram. So we have the ECG signal. The signal is a raw signal. So we have to do denoising. That means we have to make it pure, free from any noise or any interference. Then we are trying to get the wave. So again, going back to the signal, there are different parts. So we need to get the wave. There is some ways to get it. And the next part is thanks to machine learning. And here actually we are sort of blind because often machine learning is like a black box, but it does wonderful work. So I put the thing in my network and it does the job for me. Now, what I am getting from here, now it might be the most interesting part, our results. So we work with 2 kinds of ECG. Number 1, collected from hospitals. And there are a lot of publicly available ECG database. We use the database which is called the PTBXL ECG database. We collected 3 data sets, each having 400 records. And when we make this data collection, we make sure that it is little bit synonymous with the Canadian population distribution. So in each data set, 10% were healthy and 90% were unhealthy, because we know unhealthy population is the challenge, because for unhealthy people, there is more fluctuation of the signal. And we use 75% for training and 25% for testing. Now, if we look at this curve, I will take some time on this one. In the x-axis is the actual age, how old I am. Like maybe I am 37 right at this point of time. In the y-axis, what is I'm getting from my network. So if you see up to certain point, maybe around 20 or 24, both of these are following each other. Like someone is maybe 17, and our algorithm says that yes, this person is maybe 17 or 18 or 19. So there is a sort of more or less synonymous. But after 20 or 30, actual age is going up, but our prediction becomes flat. For some reason, our network is not saying that this person is maybe 34 or 35. They are giving us the same value. So it's just a flat curve. It's just telling us that, okay, this person is still 26 or 25. So that means that, yes, we still have challenges to do the age prediction or age estimation. At the same time, this prompted us to think, why don't we do it for classification? So if we put a line here around the age 20, and if we put this one class 1, that one as class 2, then we can easily do binary classification. Because this is quite evident that after 20 or 21, or maybe after 18, there is something which keeps the prediction flat. So that's what we did. We did a binary classification problem before 18 and after 18, and the results were pretty good. And I will talk more about the results here because the previous one was hospital ECG, which works, but that is practically not usable because no one is going to put 12 leads in their bodies for age verification. So what's the better option? This is a smartwatch. But unfortunately, before this research, as far as we know, there were no database for a smartwatch ECG. So what we did our own data collection. So starting from last spring, I collected data from around 200 people, and this analysis is based on 178 people. All of them are from North America. And what we did, we recorded the biological age and gender of the participants. We could not record the demography because our ethical clearance does not approve to record the demographic or skin tone. So we had the age, the biological gender, and the ECG. So people gave us the data using this device, which I have in my hand right now, Fitbit smartwatch. Each data is for 30 seconds, 2,800 data points, and 60% of the participants were male biologically and 40% female. In terms of age distribution, many people were in the young age, so it was almost like a Gaussian curve. Most of the people in the young age, some in teenagers, some in the senior segment. And then this is the outcome. Again, it's almost the same trend. So here, the blue one is the actual age. Orange one is our prediction. So as you see, up to around 25, both of these curves are close to each other. Someone is 19, our algorithm tells they are 24. Someone is 15, our algorithm says yes, they're 15. But again, after 25, our algorithm is giving a flat value. So even if someone is 78, our network says they're 25. Someone is 35, our network says second, there's 25. So we again got the same trend, both with hospital ECG and smartwatch ECG. Then we thought, okay, there is something which needs to be investigated. Before that, we ran the binary classification. So we put two classes, below 18 and above 18. And then we got 86% accuracy. That means out of 100 people, we could say in 86% time that yes, this person is either a child or an adult. Because that's how this trend is giving us a prediction. So the bottom line is that we do have some hope that this might work well for age verification. But sorry, again, the thing is, this is based on this data. We need to get more data set, especially diverse data, because so far the world data set is collected in North America. We hope to get some data from other parts of the world. And that is our next plan. So moving ahead, I will come to this part later. So we want to experiment with more data sets. At the same time, we plan to have some collaboration because so far this technology is very much dependent on the smartwatch. So we are trying to have collaboration with the smartwatch makers. And also we are trying for our patent. So this was about the technical research. The other part is a market survey. So while I was doing my research, back in last spring, I got some funding from a Canadian agency. And as part of that funding, I had to do some market research. So we ran some FGG, focus group discussion with 52 people in Canada. And there we had industry leaders, government officials, normal users and others. So the key finding was that people might use this technology, but first we have to convince them. We have to make them believe that yes, it really works. That means accuracy is really a key. And the other thing is awareness or reference use cases. So I can show you some quotes. So when we interview different people. So as you see on the left, I went to a liquor store in Montreal where I live. And the person who is responsible there to do the age verification, they check the ID card, they said, why do we need to use this? For last 28 years, I'm seeing people's ID. So will they really show me their smartwatch? I don't know. Okay, that's fine. Then we talk with some other people here in Canada, also in UK. I mean, some of the people are present here right now. So we did get some encouragement because as we see that there is this need for age verification, especially from regulatory perspective, so maybe we can work on that. Then also, the other thing is I did have some learning. Firstly, you know, sometimes we have preconception. My conception was that younger people, especially the Gen Z, they are very excited with technology. They might like my idea. But this is not always the case. It depends on people's own way of thinking. Like someone who works in a big tech company, a friend of mine actually, a very good friend, but they said that I really don't believe on your heart signal or anything else. For my kids, I want to do it by myself. So no technology, please, which is okay. But some other people who are maybe more senior age, they said, yes, I might try this out. So the bottom line is, as we have learned throughout this conference, we really need to have a holistic study, the technical side, social side, and ultimately is age verification or age assurance is one part of the whole solution. We need to focus on the whole eco chain and maybe then we can do it better. Okay, so yeah, these were the steps I think I already touched on. And by the way, the data set I collected is available online for public use for anyone. So I think you will all get the slides. So if you will get the link here and you can get the data set. So anyone who's interested to research on this, you're most welcome. And you can contact me anytime. And finally, what I have, okay, we have some academic publications, obviously. At the same time, I often write about this thing in Canadian media. So here are some opinion pieces that I wrote. Also, as Ian said, I'm involved with the Canadian standard development. Last Monday, we had Keith Jansen who talked on this. So this consortium is open for all. If anyone wants to contribute to our Canadian standard development, you are most welcome to contact me or Keith. And okay, a lot of references. Yeah, that's all. I wish I could make it understandable, and any questions is welcome. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah,
We'd
thanks,
be happy
Ian.
to answer questions offline afterwards as well.
Sure, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. I have a question.
Do you, thank you for the presentation. Do you also use that technology to look into the heart rates of the newborns as well? Because we believe that, you know,
Yeah.
technology should not be that close to newborns. But
Yeah.
how do you see that? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a great point. So in my research, I think the youngest I got maybe 4 years, and it's an interesting story. It's very hard to get children data. So back in Montreal, I approached the school board, I got their approval. But when I knocked the schools, they want to help, but it's hard, like getting the kids in a place to get some data. So one fine Sunday, I went to a church. I have some friends there, and they said, yes, come to the church on Sunday. There will be a lot of kids, and you can take data. And then I got some data. Minimum was, I think, 3 or 4 years. Not a newborn, but up to 3 or 4 years I got it. And it was really exciting to get the data from the kids. And to answer your question, so this is a chart obtained from the hospitals. This shows from 1 week. So this is the pattern from the newborns. And as you see that their heartbeat is obviously very fast, maybe the fastest, over 150 or 160, then it comes down. So this is the trend. For our case, I think it will be hard to get newborn data. So for now, I'm happy with whatever we have available up to 3 or 4 years and hope it will help us.
thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you all. Thank you.